Hey guys, so today I did a look that I think to me it looks very put together. It's a very everyday look. The colors are pretty basic for the eyeshadow, but what really makes the biggest difference is the really dramatic cat eye eyeliner for me. And the super bright lips that I did, and I'll show you that towards the end of the video with everything else for the rest of the face. But I do give you guys some tips with your standard Q-tip. Mine are a little bit different than the regular ones. Has a paddle shape on one end and a pointy end on the other, which I use this today to just kind of make that outer V for the cat eye really crisp and straight. Because sometimes, you know, I'm not a professional, so my lines may not be straight all the time, so I can depend on this and my favorite makeup remover to just kind of clean up around the outer corners of my cat eye. And then another trick, which I forgot to mention in the tutorial portion, is using your powder. I have the Revlon Nearly Naked in Fair, which is what I use today for my face powder. And I take, drop the sponge, I take a pencil brush, this is the MAC 219 I believe, and I take a little bit of that product and I go right on the outer portion of the cat eye. Let me zoom you guys in a little bit so you guys can see. So you take a little bit of that powder and you go right on this outer corner here. And that just makes this area look completely clean and crisp. You can take your finger and pat it like I do. I've done this a couple of times just to kind of ensure that my eyeliner is going to stay and it won't travel, especially right on the outer corner of the eye, which sometimes as you blink throughout the day can kind of travel and kind of start to run a little bit. So this will help you a little bit with that. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope that you guys will enjoy this tutorial and you will try it out. It's a perfect everyday look that you can create using very minimal products. So if you want to see how I did this, then keep watching. So I've already applied my eyeshadow primer. I just choose one that is clear, it has no color to it. My favorite one is the Urban Decay Primer Potion. It's one that I've been using for a very long time and it never fails me. So the next thing I want to do is start with the crease shade. Usually I start with the eyelids or the color on the lower part of the eye, but I'm going to take a semi-small crease brush. This is one from Sigma. I don't know the new numberings of them, but it's a very small and it's very tapered. I'm going to start with the color Soft Brown, and it looks like this. It is just a very light tan shade. And I'm going to take some of that on the tip of my brush, tapping off the excess, and I'm going to start by looking into a mirror and just kind of drawing right in this area here, kind of like a line, and then going back and adding more and blending this color out. And we're going to come back to this in a little while, but we're just going to get the first layer of the color down, and I'm also bringing it in all the way in this inner corner as well. And what I like to do is take a clean brush like this one here. This one is also from Sigma and it is the E25, and make sure it's clean and go around the outer edges of the color just to kind of soften that a little bit, and you can even go right above or on top of the color and soften it as well, so it just looks very natural in that crease area. Then with a 252, this is from MAC, you can use any flat shader brush that you have or just a regular eyeshadow brush. I'm taking the color Rice Paper, which is one of my absolute favorites from MAC. And this one is a really nice champagne-y color. Has a little bit of a yellowy tone to it, but it's not too bad. I'm taking a little bit of that and I'm going to pop that under my brow bone here. And it gives the most beautiful sheen to your brow bone, and you can just add some under this area as well if you want. Then I'm going to take quite a bit of it, load it on my brush, and I'm going to pat this color on my lid. And I'm going to go probably about almost all the way, like 3/4 of the way. I'm going to put this color, and I'm going to leave this, basically this outer portion here where we put some of the soft brown, bare. So I'm not going to overlap those two shades. So just keep packing on that color. Next, I'm going to take a small detailer brush. This is one from the Real Techniques, and it's the accent brush. I'm going to take the same Rice Paper color, and I'm going to put that right in this inner tear duct area just to kind of add a little bit of lightness and just illuminate this area here. And this is the perfect eyeshadow for adding a highlight without it looking too frosted. Just gives it a nice healthy sheen to that area. Then wipe off the brush and go in with the same soft brown color and apply that to the lower lash line. Okay, next comes the most important part, which is the eyeliner, and this is going to be a little bit more dramatic than I normally wear. It's a little bit thicker with a cat eye, just to add a little extra something, because these eyeshadows are pretty basic and very everyday kind of colors. So I'm going to take my very favorite gel eyeliner, a black gel liner from Maybelline. It's the one from Eye Studio, and this is the Blackest Black, and it's just your standard cream or gel liner. And I'm taking a eyeliner brush, one that's kind of angled and small, that's perfect for my eye shape, and I'm going to take some of that gel liner, and you want to work with just a little bit of product at a time because this stuff is really thick and pigmented. So I'm going to start by lining like I normally do on my upper lash line, really close to the lashes, just like so. And as I get into this inner part, I want it to be really fine line right in this inner corner. I don't want it to be super thick. I want this to just be very natural here. So what I want to do is just take your eyeliner brush and just kind of place it right at the lash line. Kind of smudging it in and picking up a little bit of the color at a time. Smudging it into the lashes. And then just connecting the lines together. And if you mess up, you don't have to worry, because you can take a very favorite tool of mine to help kind of make very crisp eyeliner lines is these little cotton buds. They have like a flat, kind of like a paddle shape on one end and then a very pointy end on the other. I dip the pointy end into makeup remover and I just clean up any mistakes that I made, and you'll never know that it was there. It's a very easy fix if you don't have, let's say, a steady hand, because this does take practice using a brush and a gel liner. Now what I want to do is I'm going to leave the upper lash line alone because we're going to come back to it. I want to take some of this on the lower part, really close to the lashes, right here on the lower lash line, and I'm just gently drawing a line. Probably about almost halfway in the lower part of the eye. Take some more. You can turn your face to the side and start applying it right on this outer part here and bringing it up, almost as if you're trying to slowly draw a line to the end of your eyebrow, and then bringing it in and filling that little triangle that you just made. Alright, so you should have something like so. You can vary the thickness of your liner. You can do it thicker, you can do it thinner, or you don't have to do the wing if you don't want to. But when you come back on your triangle like I did earlier and you have to fill it in, just make sure that it's very seamless, the triangle with this outer portion. So when you close your eyes or look down, it's like an angle coming down into the inner part of the eye, if that makes any sense. Hopefully it does. So I'm going to take whatever's left on my eyeliner brush and I'm going to apply that onto my waterline. Just like that, just to fill in any little gaps, and that makes such a huge difference when you're doing really thick eyeliner. And then you can take some of that and also run that on the lower waterline as well if you want to. I didn't go more than about halfway in the center of the eye, or to the center of the eye. That makes more sense. Now all we have to do is apply some mascara. If you want, you can touch up the brown just to kind of go along with the cat eye and create a shape with the eyeshadow if you want to. I mean, I'm going to leave mine just the way it is. I'm going to use the Loreal Telescopic Shocking Extensions Mascara, which is one of my new favorites. I'm going to apply 2 generous coats of this. As you can see, it gives me really long lashes to the upper lash line, and then on the lower lashes, I'm going to apply just a very thin layer as well. And then I'll be back to show you the finished look. Alrighty, so the eyes are complete and we need to just do some bronzer and blush just to add a little bit of color to my face. I'm going to use my Hoola Bronzer, which I always use, and it's just a very light tan shade. Sorry if the lighting is changing because the sun is reflecting off of my next door neighbor's window into my room. I'm going to just take some of that on a powder brush. This is one from Sigma. I just tap off the excess in the lid of the container, and I just apply that where I normally would add some contour. And then I just kind of buff it slightly onto my cheeks. And it does make all the difference in the world, bronzer. And then I also take some on my hairline. And if you get too much bronzer, for example, another easy tip is to take your powder brush, which if you use powder, you'll have a brush that you use for it, and you'll just take that and kind of go over just the edges. So you can see just the edges where you can kind of sometimes get a little too much here and you can tell. And then you can just kind of go over your bronzer to soften it if you do add too much. Then for blush, I'm going to use my MAC powder blush. It's a satin finish and it's called Pink Tea, which this one I used to use almost every single day. Like I said before, it looks like nothing, but it adds the most beautiful glow to the cheeks. And you can actually load as much as this product onto your brush and put it on the apples of your cheek and blend it into the bronzer and pull it up towards your hairline. You can add as much as you want of this and it never looks too much. Like, it's weird, but at the same time I love that quality because my other blushes, like my Tarte ones, they're so pigmented that you have to be careful. So just add a little bit of that. And now for the twist of this look, which is the reason why I chose such light colors for eyeshadow, is because I'm going to add a pretty bright lip. This is something is beginning to be a trend along with the really beautiful red lip. I'm going to be using one of the new Maybelline Color Sensation lipsticks. It's part of their Vivids collection, and I was drawn to this collection because of the super bright neon caps that they have. And the one I have here is Pink Pop, and it's just really beautiful. Let me do a swatch there so you can see how pigmented that is. So I'm just going to take a little bit of that. I do have some lip balm. I'm going to take some of that off. And I'm going to apply a little bit of this. Let me look into my mirror. And if you get too much, you can just take your finger and blend it in. But this color's just the perfect pink shade. Now, I know those of you out there, I feel like I got a hair. Those of you out there do not like bright lips or feel like this may be too much for you or it's just not something that appeals to you. Another great alternative is the new Maybelline Color Whispers in Luster Blush, which I absolutely love this. It's the perfect medium pink shade. Let me do a swatch here so you guys can see. It's definitely much lighter in tone and pink color, so it's more of a natural color if that's what you're going for. So that's my alternative for it. So anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed this look and we'll try it out. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I really like the way the look came out, and it's, I think, perfect for any occasion, every day, or special occasions, or date night. So anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.